Fries come from potatoes. Like all crops and plants, potatoes like a specific climate. But how long will America's favorite side dish be on our menus? Unfortunately, changes in weather patterns like frequent droughts and heat waves could lead to a potato shortage in some areas. Supply chain distributions and rising prices are already being reported in some regions, according to Bloomberg.com. The United Nations site defines climate change as long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. Furthermore, climate change is a serious threat and requires immediate action. The information that I'm about to provide you is credible because the references I use are certified in the study of climate change. For example, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which I will be referring to as NOAA when referencing. A few other examples that I use are the United Nations site, as well as an article published by Dr. Elizabeth Green, who is an advocate for sustainability. In addition, today I will be discussing the impacts of climate change, as well as what caused the problem and a few solutions to lessen our carbon footprint. After my speech, I hope you all have a better sense of what climate change is, as well as how we can make it better. First and foremost, what are the impacts of climate change and how does it actually affect us? How does it actually affect us and the world around us? Well, according to the NOAA, temperatures have been on the rise since before the 1900s. The Arctic is the most at risk because it's made of ice caps, and due to the warmer weather, the ice is melting, causing significant harm to the animals that live there. More so as ice melts, sea levels rise. As the ice melts, it causes the sea levels to rise. The NOAA states that sea levels have risen 9 inches since 1880, therefore leading to coastal erosion, which means the destruction of ecosystems nearby water. Furthermore, people who live by coastal areas are also at risk due to possible flooding of rising sea levels, causing displacement of citizens as well as the spread of infectious diseases. For example, mosquitoes are attracted to wet areas, which leads more mosquitoes to having the ability to reproduce and transfer more diseases to new areas. Lastly, the warmer it gets, the more people are experiencing heat-related illnesses, such as stomach aches, headaches, heat stroke, and even death from dehydration. If that wasn't enough, the warmer it gets, the worse the air quality is, leading to an increase in asthma and COPD. However, understanding what causes temperatures to increase is also important, which leads me to explain the causes of climate change. Some weather changes are natural, like sun activity and large volcanic eruptions. However, the United Nations site states that since the late 1800s, humans have been the main driver of climate change due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. The burning of fossil fuels causes a blanket of greenhouse gas emissions as well as carbon dioxide emissions, causing a blanket around the earth, trapping the sun's heat and making the earth warmer. Well, you're probably thinking, where do these fuel emissions come from? Well, simply generating electricity burns a whole lot of fossil fuel, which produces carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. Since everyone uses electricity nowadays to power their house and live their normal lives, these fossil fuel power plants are hard at work, emitting more toxins into the air than ever before. Another big fossil fuel emitter is human transportation. Many cars, trains, buses, and planes use fossil fuels to function. As more people travel by car to work, school, and extracurricular activities, gas emits into the air as you drive, also contributing to the gas blanket around the earth. Lastly, the destruction of forests is also contributing to climate change, as trees are a carbon sink, naturally absorbing and storing carbon dioxide. Furthermore, as you think about how humans are contributing, let's move on to how the problem can be solved. Starting with you. The solution to climate change are simple. As humans, we really need to stop and think about how our carbon footprint affects the world around us and generations to come. Firstly, transitioning to renewable energy is a great start. Green power like wind, sun, and hydropower technologies are great options for the environment to generate electricity for your home. By putting money into and supporting these renewable energy sources, we can drastically reduce our carbon footprint. Secondly, we can try climate-friendly transportation. Carpooling is helpful, as well as active transportation like walking and cycling. Lastly, the preservation of ecosystems, especially forests, will significantly lower climbing risk of climate change. Involving yourself in afforestation and reforestation, the establishment of new forests, and restoration of degraded forests will significantly enhance carbon elimination efforts, according to Dr. Green's article on sigmaearth.com. You may be wondering, what does it matter what I do? My actions alone will not fix climate change. However, your actions could inspire others to act in the way that you do. Finally, if that wasn't enough to make minor changes to a larger problem, imagine a world that's half on fire while the rest is in severe drought with limited food, water, and shelter, wondering if today will be their last day on Earth. Although we might not be alive to experience such severity, our future generations will be held accountable for our carelessness. More so, action is required now because climate change is a threat happening now, endangering wildlife and humans alike. After discussing what climate change is and what causes it, as well as how it impacts the Earth, I hope you all are more knowledgeable on the topic, in addition to feeling more confident in minimizing climate change and the effects to us and our beloved planet. As Francois Hollande once said, we have a single mission to protect and hand on the planet to the next generation. That's it.